What's going on, guys? Welcome back, Leo Pazzo Productions. Thank you very much for tuning in. In today's video, we are actually live streaming with the Osee GoStream Deck video switcher. We are live streaming to YouTube currently right now directly from the switcher at 1080p 60 frames per second at high quality settings that we configured here within the menu. Not only are we live streaming to YouTube right now, we are actually recording our live stream to the SD card here that I've inserted to the GoStream Deck video switcher. So in today's video, I just wanted to basically do a test on our stream quality and along with my SD card recording quality, just to kind of make sure that it is set at 1080p 60 frames. I want to see how the audio sounds. I want to see how the video looks, the quality, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overall look of my setup that I have configured here today. So let's go ahead and make a switch here onto the switcher. You can see that this is a fantastic top-down view for you guys, I believe, in my opinion, over here. So you guys can see my setup of all my devices and how I've configured everything. So starting off with the GoStream Deck video switcher over here, you'll notice that we have a bunch of cables here at the back. These first four are my HDMI inputs. These next two over here are my HDMI outputs. This one cable over here, USB-C, is not connected to the UVC currently right now, but we will talk about that briefly. I have this yellow cable over here, which is my Ethernet connection, which is actually giving the switcher internet capabilities, and that's what's allowing me to live stream directly to YouTube right now. And we have the power cable right over here. And you can see the live stream button is illuminated in red, which is telling me that I'm live streaming to my platforms that I've configured here within the menu. And again, we can stream up to 1080p 60 frames per second, up to 3 social media platforms at the same time directly from the switcher. You'll also notice over here that we have this red record button on, and that is telling me that I've activated the recording to the SD card that I've inserted here to the bottom of the GoStream Deck. So now that we are a little bit more familiar with all my connections and kind of what's happening over here, let's have a closer look at the monitor that I have here onto my right hand side. This is actually the Osee G7 7-inch camera monitor 3000 nits. And I have it set up to right now or connected to the switcher via HDMI output number 2, and that is showing me my multi-view screen. You can see over here these 4 boxes here towards the bottom, the middle of the screen. We have our 4 HDMIs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Over here, UVC, which I don't have anything connected. Still 1 and still 2. I have my logo and the Osee logo. And over here, I can monitor my audio levels and also see that I'm streaming to my social media platforms and also recording to my SD card. And over here to the top right, I have my preview, which I'm just previewing my input before I actually send it to my program, which is this view over here onto my top left. So again, my multi-view screen right over here. So if that's my multi-view screen, then what is this screen? This screen is another monitor which I've connected to HDMI output number 1 from the back of the GoStream Deck. And this is my PGM. This is my final footage that my viewers and my live streamers are going to be actually viewing right now. So between these two monitors is a fantastic setup. I can see all of my inputs and all of my settings and menu and audio and all of that. And over here is giving me a view of what I'm actually streaming my output to my viewers. Right over here, I have my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and this is actually just displaying the live stream currently right now on YouTube. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that it was actually live streaming. I went to my settings over here, and I just made sure that the quality was set to 1080p at 60 frames per second, which it is. So it is streaming right now to YouTube as well. Looking over here to my right hand side, you will notice that I have my audio recorder over here. This is the Zoom H4n Pro audio recorder, and I'm not actually recording to this H4n Pro. What I'm actually doing is sending the audio output via this 3.5 millimeter auxiliary cable. So output from the recorder is being sent here to the back of the switcher to microphone input number 1, and I've configured within the menu of the GoStream Deck that input microphone number 1 is set to line input. Okay, so I don't have it to set to microphone input. I have it set to a line input. So just giving you guys another view over here, just using the T-bar handle to make that switch. You guys can see that this is my shotgun microphone. Again, it's connected via XLR, and again, it is running to the Zoom H4n Pro recorder via this XLR over here. And the reason why I'm using this recorder right now, because again, better audio quality, and also because my microphone requires phantom power that's connected via XLR. So that's as far as my audio setup goes. What else are we want to have a look at? Why don't we have a closer look at my HDMI inputs over here? So currently right now, this is my top-down view, which is the Panasonic GH6. Okay, so input number 1. So why don't I go ahead and make a switch for you guys? I just press the auto button instead of the T-bar handle. So this view over here is actually with my Zcam E2 M4 cinema camera. And let's call this the talking head shot over here. And it is my HDMI input number 2, and this view over here is showing you kind of basically the behind the scenes. So this camera right above me again is the GH6 top down view, which is giving you guys the view of the setup a little bit closer up over here. So let me just toggle between the two over here. You guys can see when I make that transition, it's basically just fading the two inputs that I'm transitioning between, because that's how I've configured it within the menu. I could also just do a straight cut, nice and fast and easy, by just pressing the cut button, or I can also press the T-bar handle and have a little bit more control that way. So going back to this view over here, so next let's have a closer look at HDMI input number 3. So let's go ahead and press number 3 over here. You'll notice that the number 3 input is illuminated in green, and basically what that's doing is giving me a preview on my top right hand side of the screen over here in my multi-view screen. It's giving me a preview on what I could possibly go ahead and switch to when I make that transition. So why don't I go ahead and make that transition over here? I'm just going to go ahead and press auto. And you'll notice now we are looking at my HDMI input number 3, and this is actually an input coming from one of my PCs. So I have two computers, PCs in this general area, and what I've done, just because I don't have two HDMI outputs, because I don't, or sorry, because I don't have because I don't have 4 cameras, I only have 2 cameras. What I've done is I wanted to take advantage of the video switcher here, and I wanted to connect all 4 HDMI outputs. So again, what I've done is connected my Zcam, I connected my GH6, that's 2 cameras, and that's all I have. So again, I wanted to connect 2 more HDMI inputs because that's what this switcher is capable of doing. So what I've done, again, just to recap, I've inputted from HDMI from my PC number 1 and my PC number 2. I've sent them over here to the video switcher, and basically what I'm playing over here, let's go ahead and make that switch. What I'm playing over here is a video, a pre-recorded video on my PC. I have it playing on full screen, on loop, on repeat. So basically it's just repeating the video, it's full screen, and again I'm sending that into the video switcher as my HDMI input number 3. So let's go back to this view over here, and you guys can see my top-down view. So what I'm going to do next over here, I'm going to go ahead and switch to HDMI input number 4. So I'm going to select 4. I can preview what it's showing me right now onto my preview screen. And now when I go ahead and make that transition, this time I use the T-bar handle. Again, this is my PC number 2. Again, another video, pre-recorded, full screen, on repeat, on loop, that is playing from my PC. And that is my HDMI input number 4, which is just some B-roll shots of the GoStream Deck video switcher. Right now you can see that I'm just kind of holding it, showing the back of the switcher. It does actually have rubber pads, which is a nice feature because it just kind of helps from it being moving around and whatnot on your desk or your table. So just going back now between all of my inputs over here, you can again see this is HDMI number 4, the video playing on loop, on repeat. This is HDMI number 3, again coming from one of my PCs. And this is HDMI input number 2, which is my Zcam right over here. And HDMI number 1, which is coming from my my GH6 top-down view over here. So I think for the most part you guys have a general idea on my setup. I do definitely appreciate you guys watching. If you guys do have any comments or questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section down below. Again, I did publish 2 videos on my YouTube channel in detail about the GoStream Deck video switcher when I first basically unboxed it, and also my setup. And I also loaded up another video, so I have 2 videos out there about, the second video is about all the menu and the settings and all the features and controls that you would see within the menu. They are a little bit long videos, I think anywhere between like the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, somewhere in that ballpark. But if you guys do have any questions, feel free. I definitely recommend recommend to take a look at those videos because I might answer some of your questions in those videos. I am using the latest firmware update on this video switcher, which is 1.0.3. I did reach out to Osee when I was doing some previous tests, and I've noticed that some of my audio was not really in sync 100% on my SD card recording, and I noticed that some of my audio was a little bit choppy, so I reached out to them. They said that they had a new firmware, and I went ahead and installed it here. So that might be another video that I might do in regards to how to do a firmware update on the video switcher, but it is pretty straightforward. Again, you can just download it from their website. The download does come with installation instructions, very detailed step by step, pretty straightforward. You just download the file, you go ahead and drag and drop those two files into the SD card, into the root directory. You go ahead and make sure that your SD card is powered off. You insert the SD card into the GoStream Deck video switcher, and then you power it on, and right away, automatically, without you having to touch anything, it recognizes that those two files are on the SD card, and it's going to start updating. Once it is complete doing the update, it's basically going to power off and to power back on, and at that point you're going to want to manually go ahead and reboot the video switcher by just simply turning it off and back on again. Now that it is back on, you just want to go ahead within the menu and take a look at the firmware version information just to kind of confirm that it actually did the update to the latest one. So again, I just read out those instructions by memory because that's how I remember doing it. Pretty straightforward. Load the files to the SD card, make sure that the GoStream Deck is powered off, insert the SD card, and once you power on the GoStream Deck, it's going to automatically do that update. So whatever, the details or instructions are there when you go ahead and download it from the Zowietek GoStream or the Zowietek website. That's a wrap for today's video. If you guys do have any comments or questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section down below, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Till next time, peace.